We have suspected shooter Tyler Robinson, who was 22 years old when he allegedly shot and murdered Charlie Kirk when Mars was 22 degrees Libra on the assassination degree, and he was caught within 33 days. Let's break this down. Before we analyze the shooter, we want to actually look at the event and how the stars show how these things play out. For that, we will be referencing Pop Smoke and Young Dolph. In these two cases, we see that the planet Saturn was transiting exactly opposite their sun signs. Oppositions in astrology represent open enemies, which is going to be a prevalent theme we'll see in some to most of these cases. Pop Smoke was born during Cancer season, and Saturn was directly opposite his sun in Capricorn. He was killed in a home, and Cancer rules the private home residence. Young Dolph was born Leo season. Saturn was opposite his sun in Leo, and unlike Cancer that is an individual homebody sign, Leo is the social environment. Unlike Pop Smoke, he was killed in broad daylight in a social environment. This is what makes the death of Charlie Kirk significant, given that Mars was in Libra, and Libra represents social spaces like college debates. Of course, representing the opposition of Aries, the singular individual, opposite Libra, the social activist. I think what's even more mind-blowing is the opposition we see from the moon in Aries at the time of the shooting to Mars in Libra, just like the trajectory of the shooter towards Charlie, given that distance. You can literally see the opposition. Let's get a little deeper here. We see that the chart of the shooter features a Libra moon with an Aries sun. Aries, of course, indicating the individual who shot Charlie at a social function. The Mars in Capricorn T-square at about 26 degrees, while this may not be a professional, indicates the expert marksmanship and control in the shot. We may see slight parallels to Dylan Roof and Stephen Paddock, who were, both in their own right, mass shooters born during Aries season, similar to the suspect that we have here today. I initially suspected, like Luigi Mangione, the shooter would be born Pluto Sagittarius, as both of them did coat the shell casings in order to send a message to their victim. Both cases represent a dangerous precedent set by the Pluto Sagittarius generation, alluding to the fact that instances like these are only the beginning, and you may see more cases. Starting with Luigi Mangione, here are the charts of these killings featuring Moon opposite Mars. Then, of course, we have the K Flock shooting in New York, followed, of course, by the recent Charlie Kirk assassination, and again with Young Dolph, the Moon opposite Mars. This isn't always the case, like with Pop Smoke, where the Moon was actually transiting Mars. Now, some of you were curious about the astrocartography, and unfortunately, without his time of birth, this information really will not accurately be able to be discerned. But based on the 12 noon birthday, it does seem like Utah was in between his MC Chiron and, of course, Moon DC line. Once again, we don't know his time of birth, so I would take all of that with a grain of salt. Unfortunately, the discourse online is about whether he was a right-wing or a liberal, or whether the shooter directly worked for Israel. Such rhetoric and discourse is only designed by agitators in order to push sides against each other and grow enmity and bitterness, which will defeat the whole purpose of everything Charlie stood for. On all sides, from people making fun of his death to people threatening black schools to be shot up, shows that most people did not really learn the lesson of what was being told through this assassination. Now, whether this is a part of a bigger, wider conspiracy and he's working with others, or this was singularly just him, is a mystery for now. Regardless of what you believe, Every moment that you spend pointing the finger and trying to incite hatred on either or sides proves Tyler Robinson right and Charlie Kirk wrong. The best way to honor this man's death is to not let his death be used to incite a potential civil war. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.